What unhealthy concepts do you love in fics, but hate in real life? I adore codependency to the nth degree in fiction, but I would find that utterly suffocating in real life. Credit to Reddit user StarshineMI for starting this thread on the fanfiction subreddit. And let's go read some answers. And remember, this is a judgment-free zone. Be nice to everyone in the comments. Like you said, absolute codependency. Like the kind where they absolutely don't want to exist without the other, and every moment they're not together, they think about needing to get back to the other person. Like it's painful not to see or touch them. Not good in real life, but in fiction, it makes me absolutely melt. Misunderstandings. I can be a bit picky about them in fanfics too, but in real life, I can't stand them. Just communicate with each other, people. It's not that hard. I read fanfics screaming, "Use your words, people," at the screen. For God's sake, just effing talk to each other. Then I leave a gushing comment and bookmark the work, adding a worth rereading tag and selecting rec. Overly flirty characters. I love reading and writing about them, but I would hate if someone was actually like that to me. I just wrote a stalking fic. I do not condone stalking in real life, but it was so fun to write. Yandere tropes. Basically anything associated with yandere stories, stifling, overly obsessive love, is fun to read about, but awful in real life. I would like all of the loyalty and passion, and none of the murder, torture, and blackmail, please. According to my output of writing, child abuse? I mean, I don't want anyone else to go through that shit, but damn is it cathartic to project. I feel this on a spiritual level. I project onto a canon character so much, and writing his trauma and subsequent path to recovery is so gratifying. But in real life, I would never want to be able to put what I experienced onto anyone else. Trauma recovery. It sucks in real life. I tend to incorporate this into my fics, with the characters sometimes going through it in unhealthy ways, or someone being essentially forced to be their therapist who doesn't have qualifications. Your boyfriend isn't your therapist. Sorry, dude. I know firsthand about trauma and recovery and all that. It's awful, but it's so fascinating to write about. Oops. Stolen kisses. I get why you have to ask, or at least be sure the other person is interested in a kiss, but I hate when I read an artificial line like, "Can I kiss you?" I'd rather get a surprise kiss, or something more natural, like, "I'm dying to kiss you," and then the other one launches. Emotional manipulation / psychological abuse. Haha, yes, that shit is evil in real life, but I absolutely love doing it to my characters. I used to write some really dark shit. Years of therapy later, I realized that a lot of it was probably me processing complex emotions. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Possessiveness. Give me a mob boss, or pirate, or prince, or whatever, telling his partner, "You're mine," and I am on board. Try that on me in real life, and I'll laugh you all the way out to the curb. Same. I can't stand guys like these in real life, not even as friends and barely as acquaintances. But in fanfics, I won't read if the dudes are not possessive. Most of the things I love about enemies to lovers, the fight fucking, the guilty pleasure and shame of it, possessive creepy lines like, "I'm the only one allowed to hurt you," and all that, are incredibly toxic in real life, and I want nothing to do with them. But in fiction, it is a blast. OMFG, yes. "I'm the only one allowed to hurt you" stories are so good. Holy shit, I eat that shit up every time. I mean, I'm aromantic and asexual. No desire for any kind of relationship involving myself. But I love reading about all kinds of ships in fiction. Not that they're all inherently unhealthy, but I do enjoy a lot of unhealthy dynamics. Ships where someone is in a position of power, like a teacher, doctor, etc. Emotionally abusive / manipulative dynamics. Also, age gap, 10 plus years is good. Others have mentioned trauma recovery, and I love that shit too. especially if it's done in dubious ways. And fucked up mental health issues for all characters. Bonus points for families that have fallen apart because of it. I know from my own family that it's something I would never wish on anyone. I don't know if you can call it unhealthy, but Omegaverse. Thank God it doesn't exist in real life, because if one day I woke up as an Omega, I'd probably kill myself. Especially if you spent your whole first day as an Omega in heat. I'll jump off the bridge with ya. Having no life outside of duty or career. Literally everything toxic. I crave it in my ships to the point where my wife has expressed her concern for my mental health because she thinks I might want that in real life. Same for my husband in a semi-joking way. He was like, "Sweetheart, how come the love interest in all your favorite books and romance games are like the exact opposite of me? Should I be worried?" I told him he has nothing to worry about. He's the love of my life. But reading fics with these trash fire men satisfy my inner drama llama, so I don't go looking for conflict in real life. Grumpy/sunshine, to the level of she is the only one he isn't rude and apathetic to. Possessiveness, obsession, codependency, all the red flags. I wrote all of these joyfully over the past month, and abhor them in real life. Murder. The laugh that came out of my mouth when I got to your comment. I'm reading down the list of comments like manipulation, emotional abuse, codependency, murder. Almost anything that could fall under torture/wump, gotta be honest. About 98% of what I enjoy writing is unhealthy and abhorrent in real life, so there's that. Torture, kidnapping, and more, all that fun stuff. Even my most popular fic, where the relationship is relatively healthy, with strong caveats, the main relationship is still between a superior officer and his subordinate. In real life, I am of the belief that bosses of any sort should not date, have sex with, or be in any kind of romantic relationship with people who report to them. Codependency, possessiveness, torture, murder, extreme sadism, extreme masochism, seeing people I care about be hurt, etc. All the usual stuff. I was beginning to worry I was alone in this. There's something very visceral about both reading and writing it. Never ever would want any of that to happen to anyone in real life. Sexual assault. Makes for good drama, but I know from experience that it's not too fun in real life. As a survivor of SA, I put it in my work in progress because it's therapeutic and helps me feel not alone. Again, I fictionalize this, amongst my mental illnesses, other traumas, etc., into my writing. Cheating. I'm a relationship anarchist, so I never plan on having relationships that can be cheated on, but I have no respect for people who do cheat. Honesty is my primary value, and I would never accept a cheater in my life. In fan fiction, though, when one half of my OTP cheats on their current partner with the other half of my OTP, I can't stand infidelity in real life. Please, for the love of God, just break up if you want to sleep with someone else. It's that simple. But in fiction, go do whatever. Substance abuse. Stockholm Syndrome and Lima Syndrome. In fics, I eat that shit up. In real life, fascinating psychological phenomena that I never wish to experience. A character being so single-mindedly dedicated to a goal that they push aside every other consideration or qualm that would get in the way of it, to a degree way beyond what would be emotionally sustainable for a real person. In relationships, power differentials, and/or a level of devotion on the part of one character that's on par with religious worship or is compared to it in story. Happy, loving villain couples that gleefully commit atrocities together. To be honest, it's probably easier to list the unhealthy concepts I don't like in fiction. However, I particularly enjoy large age gaps, power imbalances, creepy behavior, and the trope of love being able to magically fix everything. Relentless pursuit of affection. If this happened in real life, then I'd say call the police. But in fiction, it's so cute. But seriously, no means no. if the couples that I wrote existed in real life, at least one would be in prison. Oh, I could kinda go deep into this. There's a reason hurt comfort is one of the biggest tags on AO3. People want to see their favorite characters be cared for, to see connections between characters, to see the emotional walls of characters break down. It's interesting how often we come to fanfic to see people hurt and suffering, with or without the comfort and care that comes afterward. Compare that to real life. Almost no one I know in real life, including myself, actually want to see the people they care about hurting. We don't want to have to be comforting our real companions in the same way we want to see our favorite companions comforting one another. That's the interesting dichotomy I've noticed. In fanfic, we often desire to see people emotionally hurt, but in real life, we often desire the exact opposite. Most of us don't see a friend and want to see them in tears. We want to see them happy all the time. We don't want to be the comforter because seeing our friends in pain hurts us directly. Meanwhile, in fanfic, we have some detachment, and we view the pain as more of a moment of pity than anything. When other characters come into comfort, we focus on the comfort as endearing, because we are just observers saying, "Aww," from behind a screen. But when people we know are hurt, we are confronted with the full force of their emotions, and when we comfort them, it is not pretty, nor does it make us happy during the process. There is that fundamental difference I can't fully explain. The way we care for real people is very different from how we care for characters, which is definitely a good thing, because if we viewed real people like characters, the whole world would be even more fucked up. When we care for real people, we really do want to see them happy in every moment, because it's what brings us happiness. But with characters, constant happiness would just be boring and not as interesting as real-life relationships. So the hurt comfort thing seems to be a way to elevate our interest in our characters by desiring an active moment of care in a relationship rather than as a passive condition of caring. I don't know, my words sound jumbled and I can't really fully explain it. That's probably best left to people in cognitive science. Big thank you to my Patreon members, my little crews: Kuski55, Fallen Vexen, Sam, Donka42, I Am a Noodle, John Huang, Fantastic Wreck, Laser Scorpio, Night Avenger, and Mintara. Thank you so much for your extra support on Patreon, it means the world to me. So glad to have you here and I hope you guys are doing well. I appreciate you so much, and you guys are great. And the same goes to my YouTube channel members, my mini-roos, AD, Taylor Thompson, Foxstar Killer, and Logan. Thank you so much for your extra support. I'm so glad to have you be part of my channel. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you guys are doing great. And thank you to everyone else for watching. I really appreciate it so much. I'm really grateful for every view I get, and I'm sorry I don't respond to comments more. It's just a social anxiety thing. But thank you for watching, thank you for commenting. I'd love to know what you think of this subject. What are things you love to write or read about, even though you really don't think those things should exist in real life? Thank you again for watching. I really can't say it enough. I'm glad to have people I can entertain with videos like this. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you next time.